Today we're going to solve one-step division word problems using tape diagrams to help us have a visual of what we're supposed to do. First things first, when we solve a word problem, we want to make sure that we do our cubes so that we have all the important pieces out of the problem, even in the directions. So when I read the directions, I will see, solve the word following problems. Draw tape diagrams to help you solve. If there is a remainder, shade in a small portion of the tape diagram to represent the portion of the whole. So the two things we have to do is to draw tape diagrams, and if there's a remainder, we need to shade in the small portion of the tape. Now we can cube the actual problem. Menica bought a package of 435 party favors to give to the guests of her birthday party. She calculated that she could give 9 party favors to each guest. How many guests is she expecting? So I was able to pull out the numbers and circle them as I was reading. Now I need to underline the question. How many guests is she expecting? Next, I need to box the important words in this problem. And we're looking for words that are going to help us find what operation we're going to use. So we're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So in this problem, the fact that she's giving 9 party favors to each guest means that each guest is going to get an equal amount or the same amount. So if I am splitting up 435 into 9 equally, then I know I'm going to use division. There are no other important parts. It doesn't matter the person's name. It doesn't matter that it's a birthday party. It could be any type of party. It doesn't matter that she's giving it to guests. We have all the important pieces, so now we can start to solve. And we need to start by drawing that tape diagram. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. And the total of this rectangle is 435. Now, I don't know how many guests we're having, so I don't know how many times I'd have to split up this tape. So I'm going to just put 1 in there and label it 9, because however many people there are, they're going to get 9. And I need to know how many times am I splitting this up. So now I can start my problem. 435 divided by 9, and I'm going to use Division Man to help me with my steps. I can draw it in my white space so that I remember the steps to division, long division. So the first I have to divide. 9 cannot go into 4, so I'm going to do 43 instead. And it goes into, 9 goes into 43 4 times. Next I will multiply. 4 times 9 is 36. And when I subtract, I need to borrow or unbundle, and I get 7. After subtract, we see the arrow in Division Man, so I'm going to drop down the 5. We just drop down one number at a time. And now I have 75 divided by 9. And so I'm going to put an 8 at the top. 8 times 9 is 72. And when I subtract, I get 3. There is no other number to bring down. And so I know that 3 is a remainder. So now this is a problem with the remainder in it. So I'm going to give myself, like the directions said, if there's remainder, shade in a small portion of the tape to represent the portion of the whole. So I'm going to add an extra little portion and shade it in and label it remainder 3. Now we all know anytime we divide, we need to do a check. So I'm going to have 48 times 9. 9 times 8 is 72. Carry the 7. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 7 is 43. Now it does not match our dividend, so I still have to add on my remainder. And once I add 3, now it matches my dividend. So I can put a little check mark. So let's go through our cubes and make sure we've done all my steps. I drew a tape diagram and shaded in a small portion that represents the remainder. I used the number 435 by dividing by 9. So the only thing I have left to do is answer the question. How many guests is she expecting? She is expecting. Now, when we look at this problem, we don't invite 48 remainder 3 guests. So we have to figure out a number that makes sense. If she's expecting 49 guests, then not all the guests would have enough party favors because the number is too big. So 49 would not be correct, so I'm going to go with 48. Okay, 48 guests. This way, she will have those extra 3 party gifts that no one will get, but she'll have enough. If we go with 49 guests, then she will not have enough party favors for everyone. And now I can check off the question because I answered it.